concentrated nutrient source than say cow manure is. And because chickens don't eat hay, there's not any danger of the pickler contamination. The chickens may, if it's commercial laying operation or whatever, they may have fed the chickens some antibiotics and some stuff that I wish they weren't doing. I wouldn't want to eat the chickens. But it's the microbes in the manure have broken all that down and gotten rid of that.
So then cow is better than horse. Chicken, cow, horse.
Cow is different from horse.
Okay.
Horse manure has more nutrients, but it also has more weed seed.
Right, okay.
But when you're using cow or horse manure, consider it a source of organic material, but not really a fertilizer. Cow manure doesn't have enough nutrient in it that I consider that a fertilizer at all. Chicken manure does.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm getting ready to clean out my chicken house to the winter. I have all this chicken manure. Yeah. But I understand it's too hot to put
If you spread it out, I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, if you had a laying operation and you were taking several pounds a day, but most of the manure that's in that chicken house has been there for weeks or months.
It's been composted in the chicken house.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. I'd use it as is. Yes?
To improve some soil, I want to put some shrubs.
What do I add? What do I do?
You can add some of this fertilizer. You don't want to improve the soil too much, because if you dig a hole and put a bunch of really good soil in it, the roots don't want to go any further than the hole. Why would they want to go out in the lousy soil when they've got all this good soil right here? So what we tend to do is plant them. We want to make sure the soil drains well. We want to be sure we dig a square hole, not a round hole, because the roots won't circle. When they hit a corner, they'll go out. But then we'll put more good things on top of the soil in the form of mulches and fertilizers, so that the roots spread out into the surrounding soil to take advantage of all these things.
Can I add something that will hold moisture?
The thing that holds moisture is organic material. You will build organic material through the use of things like compost and through the use of that. Are you in San Antonio or are you down in the Sand Hills?
Yes.
Okay. No, don't worry about anything out here. If you lived in Poteet red sand, then I'd tell you mix a bunch of compost in the ground, because it's going to take too long to build organic material. But what soil you have in the medical center area, yeah, just be patient with it. You'll make it better over time. Yes, ma'am.
Is it possible, I have a tree growing somewhere that they'll give it to me. It's about this big around diameter, an oak tree. Is that too big to move, or can you possibly, I know January and February is bad.
It's getting late to move
Right,
it, and you're going to have a 800-pound root ball for a tree that big.
Oh, really?
So-
Otherwise, if you did try, you'd just be wasting your time.
Probably so.
Oh, okay.
And if the tree, always remember, if the tree is in very shallow soil, don't waste your time moving it. Because if I dug an oak tree from the top of one of my hills where the soil is really shallow, I'd have to get a root ball of this whole building to get 50% of the roots. If really good river bottom soil, I could dig a root ball this big around and get 50% of the roots. So if it's in real shallow soil, don't even think about moving in the winter months. If it's in really good soil, if you can get a big enough root ball, you can move it now successfully.
Is it your agriculture person that does that, or is it worth moving? Or
I don't know
what?
anybody that does it. You probably pay more money to get it moved than you would buy a new tree.
So just basically cut it down and what, kill it because it's in a bad spot?
Cut it down and either grind the stump or dig it out.
Oh, okay.
Placing out, doing the spray on the beneficial nematodes and then the vinegar and orange oil.
They don't interact. You do them 20 minutes apart. That's another thing about organics, is it's easy. You don't have to follow exact time schedules, and for the most part there's no interaction. I wouldn't mix them together in the same sprayer, obviously, but if you put one out, let it dry, and then put the other out, you're putting the vinegar orange oil on the surface of the leaves, you're putting the nematodes into the soil.
Okay, and as it dries, then it's okay to do either or.
Sure, absolutely.
Monterey oak to feed it
Uh-huh.
in ground that has caliche in it, and it's kind of right for the.
Sprinkle it out on the surface of the ground
I
and
don't
water.
make little holes around the drip line or whatever.
No,
Just sprinkle it around and
Yep.
eventually water.
And maybe put a little mulch on top. That would help. Yes, sir.
I get leaf bud bugs my berries in the summer. It says citrus oil.
citrus oil tends to burn in the heat. There's a product you can look up front or inside. It's a new one called Crawling Insect Killer. It's a highly pure form of diatomaceous earth. That's what I've been using against fleet-footed bugs, and it works pretty well. Doesn't make them die instantly.
How do you put it on?
It comes in a little, sort of little squeeze tube. You open the top of it, just give a gentle squeeze, and it's like a cloud of this stuff comes out. Just dust it around.
Any problem around berries? Berries itself?
No, if you eat it, it'll be good for you.
That's what we
It's called Crawling Insect Killer. It's just a very pure form of a good strain of diatomaceous earth.
What should I use to get rid of the roaches, not roaches, mice that's in the shed or whatever?
A cat,
Besides that,
a mouse trap.
I'll just catch them and
Sure.
get rid of them.
Yeah, you don't want to use the poisons. Now, if you want to use something other than a mouse trap, use a glue trap. That's what I usually put, because I put them in my cabinet. Sometimes I'll put them in a drawer. Thanks for coming. You know what glue traps are?
Yeah, I seen them at the store, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they'll actually stick to that? You get rid of them?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Do put them away from other things, though. I live in a two-story house. In fact, my staircase is 25 steps, wooden steps from first floor to second floor. Several years ago, in the middle of the night, I heard a ka-thump. 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 Sounded like a wood-legged pirate coming up my stairs. And I didn't know whether to reach for the pistol or just go see what, it was. One of my kitty cats had gotten up on a shelf where I didn't think she could get. She got a glue trap stuck to her foot, and she was coming up the stairs. Ka-thump, ka-thump, ka-thump. Had to get the scissors and trim a little bit of hair on her paws to take the glue trap off. So put it out quick before any of your animals can get to it. Or they may surprise you in the middle of the night. Yes, ma'am.
I have some flying ants. They're coming in one
You're
room right
welcome.
now.
Thank you.
They come in every year this time. I had brought them in early last year, and they said they weren't termites, they were just flying ants. But they're back this year.
You spray with an orange oil spray. Put like 2 tablespoons of orange oil in a gallon of water. And if you want to, you can put, a little compost here, a little molasses with it. But just that orange oil in the water will kill them pretty effectively and very safely.
Well, I don't know where they're coming from. We just didn't want to. In the bathroom. It's like we put soapy water in the bathtub and put a desert light over it. It attracted a couple of hundred last night.
Yeah. That's one way to do it. The other thing you can do, although these are not really feeding ants, these are probably male ants that are looking for the females to mate and start a new colony. They're quite likely carpenter ants or something like that may be in the wood. But one of the very best ant killers out there is the blue sweetener, the aspartame. It's a great ant poison. And what you can do is just, put out a little jar lid or two here or there. If they're carpenter ants, sometimes mixing a lot of aspartame into a little bit of orange juice, wonderful ant poison. Now don't ask me what I think about sweetening your drink with aspartame. Not me. It's,
What's in the eco package? That's great.
does weird things to your brain. Switch to Splenda or stevia. You'll be a lot better off.
Laying the compost down, like in the flower bed, with seeds already there that have been there last year, or is that gonna?
It's going to retard the growth of them. Yeah, you can't put out too much or you'll bury them too deeply.
Okay, so then that means that if I don't have them this year, and after everything's settled in, maybe throw some more seed on top of that.
Absolutely.
So whatever there was, well, probably will not come.
Put a thick layer of compost or mulch on, probably not.
Okay. And then the vinegar oil and all that, that's the green that is already there, it won't harm the green that's already there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you spray vinegar and orange oil, it'll kill everything green you put it on.
Even like like perennials?
It will burn the foliage off. They will come back out. One application won't kill them. But it does no good from bad. It sees green tissue, it kills it.
Okay.
So if it's an area that you can't spray without hitting good things, put on a pair of rubber gloves and get a sponge. And wipe it onto what you want to kill. It doesn't go through the soil. It just gets on the leaves. So you've got a plumbago growing up, some weeds around the base of it. Just take your sponge and wipe it on all the weeds. It won't hurt your plumbago, but it'll kill the weeds. Well, guys, thanks for coming. We'll do it again next week, and we sure appreciate you coming to see us.